Welcome to World Religions at 1500. We're going to be talking about the religions that still exist today, but were in the world at 1500. Our map, we're going to start with religions in the modern day world. Okay. If we look at the United States, it is mostly Protestant, our red color. Christianity is going to be divided into three colors. This pretty blue of South America, which is mostly Roman Catholic. Also, most of Europe is this color. Remember, this is modern times. Eastern Orthodox yellow is going to be Russia and Ukraine and those parts of the world. The green, Islam is two groups, remember. Green is going to be Sunni Islamic, okay, so you can see how that takes over quite a bit of the Middle East and Northern Africa, parts of Asia. And then Shia Islam is going to be countries like Iran with this darker red, and where part of where our Songhai tribe is. Hinduism is going to be pink, that's covering mainly India. Judaism is going to be a very white color. Okay, it's going to be the tiny country of Israel in the Middle East, and then dots around the United States and dots around parts of Eastern Europe as well in London, because there's a large Jewish population there. Buddhism is going to be the orange over in China and Southeast Asia. Chinese animalistic religions we're not really going to talk about, but they are the green of China. Japan is over in the far corner. They're going to be a teal of Shinto and Buddhism mixed. Okay, and then there's tribal groups that practice other different things. Okay, so first religion is going to be Christianity. Christianity is monotheistic. Remember, you can stop and start the video at any point, so that way you can hear it being said and then stop it and write it down. So they believe Jesus is the Son of God, monotheistic, one God. They believe that Jesus died to save humanity from sin. They believe that in order to reach salvation or heaven, you have to follow Jesus' teachings, which were recorded in the Bible. So which empires do you think in 1500 were Christian? We're going to see our map of our spread of Christianity. The Christianity concentrated in Europe and the Middle East. Okay, so there are going to be some Christians in the Ottoman Empire, but mainly are England, Spain, France, the Holy Roman Empire, and Russia are going to be Christian at 1500. Next religion is Judaism. They are also monotheistic, believing in one God. They believe that you serve God through the study of his teachings, following the laws and the teachings from the Torah, which is the Old Testament of the Christian Bible. So which empires are going to be Jewish? Now, there are no empires in 1500 that are purely Jewish. The Jewish population is going to be spread out throughout Europe and the Middle East. Remember, there aren't many Jews in Spain during 1500 because they've been kicked out with the Inquisition. But they're going to be dotted in towns, they're going to be collected in towns around Europe and the Middle East. Modern days, we're going to have the country of Israel set up as a Jewish state. It is the only Jewish state in the world. Okay, and it's the little red dot in the middle near the Mediterranean Sea. Between Christianity and Judaism, there are four things that are common between the both. They're both monotheistic, one God. They're both major religions in the world. They both believe in praying, and they both call their God, God. Okay, other differences: Christians have priests while Jews have rabbis. Christians have 2 billion followers. Jews have 13.1 million followers. Christians believe that Jesus is the founder. The Jews believe Abraham is their founder. Christians follow the Bible, which is their holy book. Jews follow the Torah. And then Christianity celebrates Christmas, and Judaism celebrates Hanukkah. Okay, remember, they are two separate religions, but they do have some things in common. Our third religion is going to be Islam. They are also monotheistic, believing in one God. They follow the teachings of Muhammad the prophet, who had God's word spoken to him. They show devotion through the 5 pillars of Islam, which we will talk about in class. So which empires in 1500 are Islamic? Islam is going to be concentrated in parts of Asia, Africa, and Southern Europe. So in Africa, we're going to see the Songhai. In Asia and Southern Europe, we're going to see the Ottoman Empire, the Persian Empire, part of Mughal India, Indonesia. It's spread all the way across the world by this point in time. Now, all three, Christianity, Judaism, and Islam, are monotheistic. They also have some other things, okay, that are similar but have different names, okay? So the name of their supreme being is Jehovah for Judaism, God for Christianity, and Allah for Islam. Their prophet is Moses for Judaism, Christ for Christianity, Muhammad for Islam. Okay, religious leaders are the rabbis, priests or ministers, and caliphs and imams. And you can see some of the other differences that they have. Take a second to look over this chart and pause the video. Our fourth religion, it's been a long day, is going to be Buddhism. It is founded by Siddhartha Gautama, who is called Buddha. The Buddhists believe the key to happiness is detachment from worldly goods and desires. So we are giving up our iPods, we are giving up our computers, we are giving up our designer brands, and this will bring us happiness. Okay, you're going to also achieve happiness by following the Noble Eightfold Path, so 8 steps to get to enlightenment or happiness. Which empires at 1500 are going to be Buddhist? Well, this is a modern map. However, it's going to be centered in East and Southeast Asia. So Ming China has Buddhism, Japan has Buddhism, Southeastern Asia, and we're actually going to still see some Buddhism in India in 1500. You don't see it on this map, but it's there. Our next religion is Hinduism. They believe in many forms of one God that they call Brahman. So it's a monotheistic religion with an asterisk up in the corner because they don't just have, they have one God, but they believe he can take many forms. And Hindus believe that you can reach enlightenment when you are free from your earthly desires. This is similar to Buddhism. However, they achieve enlightenment through worship, knowledge, and virtuous acts, so doing good things. Hinduism also believes in karma. So which empire is Hindu? India. Mainly India is going to be Hindu. It doesn't spread much farther. You will see some population, a large Hindu population in America who have immigrated, but at 1500 it's India. Now our last is not really a religion. Confucianism is more of an ethical system. It's going to provide directions for you to directions are a way for you to live your life. So it's based on the teachings of Confucius. He wrote down all of his thoughts. Okay, you see his picture here. He's from China. It stresses civic and social responsibility, so going out and voting, taking your responsibility as part of the government, of the people. Okay, social responsibility, taking care of others. One of his famous quotes says, "Do not be concerned that others do not recognize you. Be concerned about what you are yet unable to do." So Confucianism is a large part. Remember, the Ming Empire is going to bring Confucianism back into China. Here's a map. It's a much more modern map again, but you can kind of get the idea of where things were. Okay, the light yellow in the Middle East is going to be Islam. We're going to see some pink Christianity up towards Russia. We're going to see a mixture of Confucianism, Taoism, and Buddhism in China, this bright blue. Bright purple is Shinto and Buddhism. That's in Japan. And then 2 different types of Buddhism that we're not going to go that deep into it, but they're going to be the mustard yellow and the orange down in Thailand. And then Hinduism is mainly in India. So a couple questions for you to answer, okay, that we're going to talk about in class, but just think about them. Go ahead and circle the locations of each of the major religions at 1500 on the map on the back of your notes. Okay, think about which ones overlap, which empires have multiple religions in them. There are going to be a couple. And then a couple questions that we're going to talk about in class next time. Or what basic principles do all of the religions have in common? What role do religions serve in people's everyday lives? Typo, gotta fix that. And what do you think people hope to gain from their religion? Why do people follow a religion? Okay, so we're gonna talk about those in class, and we'll start class off with that. Have a great night. Bye.